Have you ever heard of the parable of the horse and the devil? Well, it's a parable that's been out there for quite some time now. Some people haven't heard it, some people have. But for those of you who have heard it, did you know that there are theological undertones to this parable? And for those of you who have not heard it, I'm going to tell you what it is. And then when we're done, I'm going to explain to you the theological undertones of this parable that some may not know existed. So a man tied his horse to a post, and later the devil came along and quietly set the horse free. Now the horse, it wandered into a farmer's field and began trampling the crops. Now the farmer, furious, grabbed his rifle and he shot the horse. Now when the horse's owner saw what happened, he became mad and he took his own gun and killed the farmer out of revenge. Now the story gets deeper. The farmer's wife, seeing her husband dead, picked up an axe and killed the horse's owner. Then the owner's son, driven by anger, killed the farmer's wife. The neighbors, horrified by all the bloodshed, they turned on this young man and burned his house to the ground. And when people asked the devil why he had done all this, he replied, calmly, mind you, I didn't do anything. I only set the horse free. Now, let me break this down for you in bite sized chunks. The starting point of the story is the chain of bad choices. A man tied his horse securely to a post and everything was in order. This represents the small good boundaries and habits we use every day to keep our lives calm. The devil, the source of temptation, comes along and he didn't hurt anyone or steal anything. He simply and quietly untied the rope and he set the horse free. Here is something you probably did not consider. The devil rarely forces us to sin. He just removes the small boundary or provides a tiny distraction. He offers the chance for chaos to begin. Now, in this story, the first mistake is rage. The loose horse wandered into a nearby farm and stomped on the crops. The farmer, seeing his food and money ruined, got blindly angry. Instead of getting help or seeking payment, he grabbed his gun and he shot the horse. The sin in this is he chose immediate rage and destruction over patience and lawful justice. Now, the second mistake in all of this is revenge. The horse's owner saw his animal dead. He was so consumed by the loss and anger that he decided to take justice into his own hands. And he found the farmer, and we all know the story now. He killed him. The sin in this is that he chose vengeance, which is a sin because as Christians, we believe that the ultimate justice and revenge belongs only to God. The chain continues. The farmer's wife killed the owner. The owner's son killed the wife. Then the neighbors, terrified by the endless killing, turned on the son and burned his house down. So a visible pattern is forming. Every person in the chain chose to escalate the violence, showing how quickly one bad choice can lead to a disaster affecting everyone. And after all the bloodshed, people asked the devil why he had caused such terrible events, and he simply replied, I didn't do anything. I only set the horse free. Now, friends, here is the spiritual truth. The true deep meaning of this story, as explained in the Bible, is that our ultimate fight is not against other people, but against evil spiritual forces that use our anger, our pride, and our fear. The real battle is not flesh and blood. The devil is the master strategist. He knows he doesn't need to commit murder himself. He just needs to untie the knot, create a problem, a slight, or a loss, because he knows that the evil spirit of wrath is already living inside the human heart. And the farmer wasn't just fighting the horse, he was fighting and losing to the spirit of uncontrolled rage. The owner wasn't just fighting the farmer, he was fighting and losing to the spirit of vengeance. The devil just created the opportunity. And then we, the people, eagerly choose to do all his evil work for him. Our duty is to adhere to God and love our neighbor. The only way to break this destructive chain is by remembering two core principles, which we must choose in that split second after the knot is untied. Remembering God is our adherence to Him. Remembering God is our adherence to Him. When a problem happens, we must first stop and remember that God is the ultimate judge and ruler. We are not allowed to let our immediate anger take control. We must choose the spirit of peace and patience over the spirit of the world. Remembering our neighbor is our duty. We are commanded to love our neighbor, even the ones who wrong us, as ourselves. Our duty is not to repay evil for more evil, but to act with mercy, forgiveness, and controlled justice. So, friends, the final lesson is simple. The rope represents the moral discipline and love we must maintain. I'm going to say that again. The rope represents the moral discipline and love we must maintain. If the devil unties the rope of a bad situation, we must immediately tie the knot of our heart to God through prayer and conscious choice. If we don't, we stop fighting the devil's spiritual forces and instead start fighting and killing each other. If this explanation of the parable of the horse and the devil resonates with you, do me a favor and share the video with at least one other person who could benefit from hearing this message. You guys take care, and God bless. Take care, and good night.